So, this video is going to be a little different. I'm sorry I look like this, but today I'm going to be sharing something that weighs heavily on my chest, always, but especially today. I'm going to talk about being involved in a mass school shooting. If you don't want to watch this video, that's fine. I understand it's upsetting for some people. I apologize for the light coming in on my face and whatnot, but this is a really just chill video, just trying to get things out. I'm sorry if this is really rambly and out of order. I'm going to try and do the best I can to recount events, but I'm kind of just going to be spewing stuff at you. I'm telling my story because it's been 3 years to the date. Today is February 14th, and 3 years ago, I was a senior at Marjory Stoneman Douglas. It was like any other normal day, only it was a holiday, so people were getting Valentine's Day gifts, and I didn't have a Valentine or anything like that, but I was really happy to see people, so happy and spreading love. And I left school early because I did dual enrollment, which if you don't know what that is, that means you do a college class while going to high school still. So I was doing that. So I left. And basically, I went to go call my mom for something. I'm not sure what it is. I can't remember. And she answered the phone, and I knew something was wrong immediately. So, of course, that sent me into a panic. And I was like, what happened? What happened? What happened? And she said, oh, there's a school shooter at the school. So I was like, how do you know? Because I thought, oh, maybe she just, heard rumors or something, or maybe she's paranoid, I don't know. And I don't even remember what she said, but, she said, I gotta go, and hung up. Now, I have 2 younger siblings who were attending the school at the time. My younger brother and my younger sister. My younger sister came home early with me because she wasn't feeling well. And my brother was still in school, but he didn't have his phone because my mom took his phone away the night before because he got in trouble for something, and she was like, well, now I'm taking your phone. And so we had no way to get in contact with him, which made this situation so much worse. So the next couple hours were filled with frantic phone calls between my family members. My dad was trying to get in on one side. He was with my older sister trying to get into the school, or trying to, figure out some more information. My mom was on the other side of the school. Obviously, it was completely blocked off, and SWAT teams were in there and such. And I was home with my younger sister and my other younger brother, who had come home early because I believe he had an orthodontist appointment. And I'm usually very calm in situations that are stressful, but I was crying hysterically, praying on my hands and knees, begging for not only my brother's safety, and not only my friends who I had in that school, their safety, but the safety of everyone in that school. And I was texting all my friends. Some of them weren't in school, some of them were. And I was getting frantic phone calls from friends who I had who didn't go to that school, who had graduated, or friends from New York that I had, because that's where I used to live before I had lived in Florida. And then, phone call from my grandparents. It was all over. Everyone was finding out about it, and panicking and calling me up crying, like asking me if I was in school, or texting me, and, you know, or if my siblings were in school. And my brother was in the 1200 building, which is the building that was attacked. And he had a sub that day, and the sub didn't know how to lock the door, so their door was unlocked for the majority of the time. The kids managed to find a way to lock the door, and a SWAT member came and was, you know, knocking on the door, being like, let us in, like, once they got there to rescue them. And the kids obviously didn't want to let them in, because they were like, how do you know it's not, you know, whoever this is who's attacking the school? Eventually someone decided to take a risk and peep their head out, or through the glass of the door, and they let them in. So my brother was rescued many hours into the whole shooting, because he was on the higher floors. And he finally got home. And I remember reading the news as my brother was still in school, because that was the only way I could find out information, and just seeing the victim count go higher and higher. 5 people injured, 10 people injured, 20 injured, and just like full on like panicking, obviously. And right before I went to bed that night, I got a mass Snapchat from one of my friends, and he said, if anybody has seen Joaquin Oliver, please let me know. I'm with his parents and they're looking for him, because there was a hotel by the school, and a lot of kids, obviously when they ran out or evacuated or were evacuated by the SWAT team, didn't have their phones on them because it was in their backpack or something, and so they needed a place to meet with their family. So there was a hotel by the school, and that was the meeting area. So a bunch of parents were waiting there for very late at night, to try and see if their kids, you know, made it to the hotel, whatever. And when I got that Snapchat, I knew that in my heart something wasn't right, because he was in my second period class, and I knew he would never, you know, for so many hours not get in contact with his parents. He was a very good kid. And I mean, like I said, I didn't know him personally, but, you know, with someone, he was my classmate, so I kind of knew him. And so I prayed really hard that night for his safe return, but I knew in my heart that, you know, something had happened to him. And I woke up the next morning to find a Snapchat chat that said, he's gone, from my friend. And I remember waking up the next morning and the list of names slowly coming out. And I was like, please don't let it be anyone I recognize. You know, I mean, I didn't want it to be anyone at all, but... And then I read one of the names, which was Nicholas, and I just started crying hysterical, because it was another one of my classmates from junior year. He was in my English class. And I knew he was a very good kid. I didn't know him personally. Like I said, he was just a classmate. But I used to sit and eat lunch with my sister outside, and he sat near us, and he never ate lunch with anyone. So at first I was a little like, you know, oh, does he not have people to sit with? But I knew he did, because he was a pretty, you know, popular social kid. And every lunch period, he used to call his girlfriend, who didn't go to the school, and that's why he would sit alone, so he could sit and talk to her for the whole period while he ate lunch. And to me, I was always like, that's obviously so adorable and so nice. So just reading his name, I immediately started crying. You know, this has all been a really shortened, abridged version of what happened, and I'm sure I haven't spoken clearly about a lot of things because, I don't know, I'm just very disorganized in my thought. But I think I just wanted to tell my story today because it's been 3 years, and it still weighs very heavily on my heart. This happened when I was 17 or something like that. Yeah, so I guess what I want to say is I think it's important to share your stories and to keep the memories of these people alive. 17 people died that day. Some of them kids, some of them adults, all of them with their own dreams and plans, and it could have been any one of my siblings. In fact, my younger sister, her classroom was the one that was shot up first, and the girl who sat next to her, Alyssa, and the boy who sat behind her, Alex, both passed away. And I know that if she would have been sitting in that seat, it would have been her. And it's just, it makes me want to fight more for those who weren't as lucky as me and my siblings. And I just want to say that I hope that you didn't believe in gun control or reform before. I hope that perhaps this has given you a new perspective. I believe we need some serious change in this world. We need gun control laws. I don't believe that, no guns at all should be allowed. I understand if you want a little, like, handgun or whatever they're called. I believe in compromise, but I do not believe that people should have access to shotguns or rifles or anything of that nature. And I just think it's really important that we realize as a society that we have to protect each other and spread love and have each other's backs and just make a change in the world. Yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to film this to share my story and also get this off my chest. These days are always really hard for me. I hope you all have a good day. I hope you tell someone how much they mean to you today, or remind them how much they mean to you today. Kiss and hug your family, your friends, whoever. And that's all I have today. And happy Valentine's Day.